Hey, it's Sunday, April 30th, and here we are. We're going to take a look at doing some of the panel stuff today. I explained on the previous video how we need to get things fit up, like the throttle mixture, get some wiring and stuff put in, and get that done before we can really finalize where all these hoses, fuel and oil hoses, are going to be laying and attached. I did have a question. I was thinking about this yesterday when I put that fitting in, the 90-degree fitting on the back of the engine. And just curious, those of you that know on any flow or pressure reduction from that 90-degree fitting. And what I'm talking about is, let's see if I can zoom this in here, is that fitting there from the factory as a 45-degree fitting. And to get this hose to fit in here with this oil cooler, we did put a 90-degree fitting in there. And I had thought about whether there was going to be any kind of a pressure drop across that fitting or not versus a 45. And hadn't found a whole lot of info on it. I did find some information that there's not a restriction in flow, the amount of flow that goes through there. And I don't know, I'm just curious. This engine runs, I think it's 80 psi on the oil pressure, I think is where it's set, or around there. And yeah, just curious if that should be a concern, having that fitting in there versus a 45. And that's going into this, comes around, goes to this 90-degree, and I can't remember which way the flow is, if this is the outbound flow that goes to that, or if it's the flow coming out of the engine. I'm not sure which way that goes. So anyway, if you've got answers on that, I would appreciate it in the comments. Any ideas or references is really what I'm looking for. I'm looking for references to where this is, where I could calculate this, or find where it says, you know, yes or no, don't do this, or it's okay to do it. But anyway, well, here we go. All right, we are doing some fit up on the instrument panel here, and what we did find was that we're going to be moving a piece. Let me get back down into the bottom here. We've got the ground block for the avionics is attached to the bottom of the shelf here. It's attached over here, and in order to get, one thing that we didn't do is the mistake we made was didn't coordinate very well with the avionics shop. And this piece that we've got, this is the throttle support, and I guess it's also a fire extinguisher mount. So we've got our throttle mixture panel here, and so this needs to go up here. And the problem we run into is that our ground block wires were running into that shelf there. So we're we're going to trim this off here, and we're actually going to mount it to the bottom of this avionics shelf. And this is the actual panel shelf itself that's part of this panel. Sorry that the lighting's not real great in here, but anyway, we've got a ground block here, and that's where they put it. So we're just going to move it down here. We've got enough slack in the grounds to move it over. So we're going to move that over, and then we'll just we're going to notch that out right here on the corner, and that's where those ground wires will come out from there. And the other side we have to do a little bit of a modification too, and then we're probably going to incorporate part of the original support bracket that came with this that we're not using that up here, but we'll fabricate a support, so we'll modify that. We'll get that all fixed up and ready to go. And after that, we're going to be making a support for the radios. We've got these, this is the Navcom radio, and this is a GPS, and we do just need to support it up just a little tiny bit. We'll support it on this shelf here. We'll build a support for that, and that will pull this panel in just a little tiny bit. It bows out just a little bit because of the weight of those two radios is pushing down on it, so that needs to come in, and that'll come in a little bit when this gets mounted up here. You can see how this you can see how it moves just a little bit, but we'll get this stuff all secured down. Oh, it's an absolutely beautiful day today. I think we're in the mid-70s maybe. We might actually be able to get back up here tomorrow. We'll see. But spring is here, that's for sure. Okay, done for today, and let's see. First off, that fitting I had questions about, that 90-degree fitting. I actually had a couple guys up here that stopped by while we were here, and I asked both of them about it, and they said they don't think that there's any problem with that the pressure drop off of that would be very minimal compared to the 45-degree that was already on there. So I think we'll go with that. There was a comment on the other, I posted on the Facebook Builders group, and there was a comment there that led me to a pressure and flow calculator where I put the numbers in as best I could. I didn't have the exact information that I need, so I kind of had to guess some of it, and it was saying there was a pressure drop difference of like 0.3 psi versus a straight fitting on that, so I'm not gonna be worried about that. But the rest of the time was spent on the panel fit up, and mainly working on, let's see, we bolted this shelf in for now. That'll probably come back out when we get the supports done. We're going to be doing a couple of supports for the radio stack here. I think I talked about that already. And we worked on this throttle support today. And I explained, I think on the opening video, or I explained at some point, about how our panel's not the standard RANS panel. But so we've got this, and we're using this support here, this throttle support. We modified it a little bit so that we've got clearance for our cable wire harness that's behind there, behind the panel, and we're just working on coming up with a way to attach this. I think what we're going to do is probably a that's the wrong angle. I think we're going to do a plate here that comes up, or comes towards the front, and then it will angle up this way, and then it'll have a
a flange on it where we can attach it onto this shelf up here or onto the tubing. We'll see what we can come up with. So we've been brainstorming that, not much to show with it, but yeah, so kind of, I don't know, it's a good day. Not a lot of visual progress other than getting the panel put in the airplane. Yeah, that was exciting. So it's good to, nice to see it in here. It's obviously going to come back out when we have to do the rest of this mounting fabrication, but this got us a good start on the day. We clecoed all this in with that top skin in. So yeah, anyways. All right, well, that's about all I can think of right now. So thanks for watching. Have a good evening, and that's it for now.